Welcome back, everyone, to another Onward VRML 3 cast. I'm your host, TheSkyJoker, and once again, joined by my co-host, Theta. Theta, how are you doing?
I am fantastic. Thank you for asking.
No problem. Man, this is going to be a great one. We've got 3 VRML casts going all at the same time with plenty of action to show for. But here on this channel, we got Prestige versus Rome. Prestige being a new and up-and-coming team. Rome being a pretty well-established, but kind of newish on the roster side. How do you think this is going to go, Theta?
Well, I think Rome is, like you said, a very experienced team. They're a very good team. And Prestige, up till now, hasn't really had, I would argue, like a high-level test, and this will very much be that test. We all know that the ranking system is a little funky right now because of all the new teams. Everybody's not quite sure how the algorithm is going to react in these coming weeks, but Prestige is currently ranked as Diamond, even though they've only played a few games, and Rome is currently Gold, even though they are arguably the more experienced team here. Not even arguably, they are the more experienced team. So we'll see if Prestige is worthy of that diamond rank or not today.
Oh, for sure. And as you can see on the scoreboard, we have a ban of Sand coming out from Prestige and a ban of Quarantine coming out from Rome. Did you see anything odd in the statistics that might point to why these were chosen?
I didn't, and it's really hard to tell with these two teams because they've never faced each other. So this is always a big question mark when you're dealing with new teams facing off against older teams. I would guess that the ban for Sand was because Rome has shown that they are very good at it. They are, I would argue, one of the better teams on Sand in the entire league. So it makes sense that they don't want to play it. In terms of the other ban, no idea.
Well, should be pretty interesting. Maybe Rome just isn't feeling quite as strong on it. So we'll just have to wait and see. We do have all members of the teams in the lobby now, and we'll go ahead and throw the first map, which is going to be Bazaar, one of my personal favorites. I've always loved the way this map kind of has the variety of all sorts of various engagement points. You can do all sorts of various types of attacks, defenses. I just really like the variety on it. Oh, and they are getting started, so we'll go ahead and hop in this gameplay view. And we'll go over the rosters right after round 1. Let us start with Coyote objective. Rome being the first to defend here. The spiciest objective on the map, and arguably in the whole game that we're about to start with.
Shit gun.
Alright, and we are off with the 6-minute timer. Prestige doing their... Actually, they're opting for a 2-2-1 split to start off here. Let's get the lasers on so we can see where they're watching. And they've quickly taken over the east side of this objective, or the map, as they prepare to make their assault.
Yeah, interesting. The defense seems to be stacked more towards the west. At least you've got Ree in the far northwest looking east. And yeah, they have some defenses. They've got William Dunce right behind Kia, and then Ramen hanging out on one of the entrances from the east. So it's more like I think they're kind of baiting them into coming into the east. But in some sense, they're lucky that they didn't come west, because that would be pretty gnarly for Rome based on this defense.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Prestige has had quite a bit of footage on them, so I'm wondering how much Rome has actually gotten to study their tactics. Prestige being relatively predictable, but is still very strong in the way they approach and rotate.
Yeah, I like what they're doing in the sense they've got Lunch Lady watching their south line. Although I'm not sure. Good job, Brian is way, way in the back. I'm assuming he's waiting for some kind of flank. But they've got a 3-person team in the northeast. And then these other two, pretty disconnected from one another. I don't know completely what the thinking is there, but I guess we'll see how it unfolds.
Generally, Prestige leaves one or two waiting for, like you said, an aggressive flanker lunch lady holding the far long side, which it does seem redundant that they have Good Job Bryant way in the south when lunch lady can essentially watch the entire cross, so it's kind of pointless to have him out there. But and then what'll happen is they'll try and get some picks for the first couple of minutes, and then they'll rotate and meet back up with their flank watcher, and then all of them together fighters coming out all over the place. Rome is doing a really good job at just maintaining their angles and staying tucked in. They do not want to get picked off early, which is what Prestige relies so heavily on.
Yeah, even now we're about to reach the halfway mark on this round. Good job, Brian. Still way in the south. A little surprised we're not seeing more of a rotation because, like you said, Lunch Lady watching down the middle street. They pretty much have that cross covered. There's no way someone's getting across without him seeing that.
Now we have Dr. Dangle and Keller rotating back, possibly to meet up. Yep, Lunch Lady is pulling off their post as well. And they're going to meet up with Brian and probably assault either from central or from west. After all that noise was made here in the east, regret staying behind to wait for an aggressive pusher. Going to be an interesting rotation here. They're going the complete opposite side of the map. We'll see if that trips up Rome as well as they hope it does, because they're going to have to commit onto this approach with only 2 minutes left in the map and no picks on any defenders yet.
Yeah, they're really pushing their luck on the time. It's not the end of the world that there are 2 minutes without any picks, but they've done a lot of rotation without gathering that much reconnaissance here. So they're going to be going in. They're going to be forced to rush a little bit without much in the way of intel.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like you said, without not only just not having picks, but they have no clue where any defenders are. So they have not been very productive in these first few minutes, and they're about to run right into Ree because they are not checking this corner for a defender.
Yeah, Ree just patiently waiting. I don't know if he sees them or not, but he is about to spot. Oh, JX Keller sees him.
Oh,
wow.
Oh, man. Oh,
I
that was
know
a
if-
key pickup.
Yeah, I don't know if Ree was intentionally waiting for the rest of the crew to keep going or he didn't see them, but that could have very easily been a 3 or 4 piece for him.
Ooh, and the trade comes out. Dangle rushing onto objective. Ramen taking shots. Mad Hatter trying to stop the cap. Does manage to down Dangle. Down to a 2v3 very quickly. Lunch Lady and Regret coming in from the east side. Misses Ramen. Goes in towards the objective. Mad Hatter picks up Regret. And then picks up Lunch Lady rushing the objective. All the action taking place in the last, like, 45 seconds of the map. Anything you think they could have done better in that attack?
Well, the one thing that stood out to me in that we didn't discuss, it happened really quickly, is Dangle rushed in. It looked like he was trying to go for a cap, but he didn't clear in front of the fountain. And I only say that from experience. I have made that mistake. In fact, I made that mistake in a pretty important match last season of trying to get in there, getting excited about the cap, and not checking the fountain. If you're going to come in from the opposite side and go straight onto the objective like that, it's so critical to check that spot. That could have been a cap. If he had picked that up, that it wasn't completely open, but it certainly left a window of opportunity for a quick capper.
For sure. I really feel like they were just so eager to get on that objective. They were so focused on it, very hyper-focused, and less about getting the picks, because I think they're so used to, by that time in the round, having picked up 2 or 3 people in their rotations, that I think they just kind of forgot the fact that there were still 5 defenders up.
Also, chat just indicating, and I'm hearing it a little bit too, Joker, your mic is cracking a little bit. So
A little bit? All right.
Yeah, cutting out in and out.
I can fix that. We're going to minus my gate a little bit. And then we'll hop right back in here to round number 2. Make sure we get the gameplay up. No overlays left here on VRML 3. We are professionals. And the East is about to get aggroed very early here, once again. Keller about to run into Ree and Mad Hatter. Keller picking up Ree. Mad Hatter going for the refrag. Doesn't quite get it, though, as Keller's tucked back in. Dangle coming in from another angle. Is down to a 5v4 now. The whole attack focused on the east side. William holding a similar angle as Lunch Lady was, just making sure nobody comes in for a cross flank.
Confirmed
Taking more shots into blue room. Doesn't quite connect. He was just going for a confirm, actually.
Confirmed 1 over on the east.
Down to 5 minutes. That extra minute from the 5 to 6 minutes just adds or allows for so much more movement. Makes a big difference. Smoke just barely covering Mad Hatter's approach here. And the offense is effectively stalled, but Ramen has actually snuck his way here in the north. We'll see if he's ready for Lunch Lady's position, though, when he tries to pick up Mad Hatter.
Yeah, the danger here is that almost everybody is facing away from objective right now. Lunch Lady, if he gets picked by Ramen, this is going to be a challenge for Prestige to deal with. But Lunch Lady gets the kill, and now it's down to 2 for Rome. Their one real hope of a cap, I think, just evaporated there. Not impossible now, but a full 5 on defense with 2 defenders. This is a very defendable objective with 5.
Yeah, it's very interesting because Ramen knew that Lunch Lady was there as he had just made a call out. So he went to pre-fire the corner. Oh, and the trade from Keller and William. He went to pre-fire it, but just wasn't quite on the mark with the shots as Terrence picks up Dangle. Down to a 3v1.5. The revive going to come out here. If Ramen had some better utility other than the smoke, he might have been able to clear Lunch Lady better.
I killed the other one. There's 2 dead. You're good. Which one is you? Okay. There's 3 left, William.
Take a quick look at this defense. The 3-man left on objective here. Let's see. Notice any weak points that Rome might be able to use against them?
They've got a pretty good line here. The only problem is they have, who is this? They have Regret inside the objective building. I would personally put them more towards the west just to watch in front. I like to have kind of a sandwich, so to speak. One watching the north, one watching the south side, just in a straight line across the
watch right here real quick.
But
Yep.
could work.
I gotta hustle across.
Yeah, I will say,
they're gonna have. Yeah, they
William
definitely have
Dunst
one in
in
the main
particular
yard,
and
one in the
Barracks,
building.
I would argue,
Yeah.
are
And
both
then
very
probably
good
one
at
in the
this
west
kind of
market.
guerrilla style of fighting, where it's not in their favor numbers-wise, but they know where to rotate and pick people off. They just have that level of experience. And right now, good job, Brian, in a pretty vulnerable spot
Ree or somebody traded,
based
there
on
should be only
these
3 left.
rotations. In fact, if they spot him coming across, there it is. Yeah, shoot him right in the back.
Confirm it.
And now it's down to a 2v2, and this is a really, really hard objective to defend with 2 people. You can do it, but the moment somebody goes down,
that's
it's
2 left.
open
We
for a
got
cap,
this.
and these people can move in quickly.
Yeah, that was a really interesting spot for good job Brian to be so
You go
exposed.
through the market. I'm gonna push far north.
He was so hyper-focused on that east approach, he wasn't ready for them to make that long rotation. And they're actually splitting up here to do a really nice pinch maneuver, it looks like. We'll see if they manage to stay in sync with each other.
Yeah, and regret bouncing around still in the objective. That's really what you should be doing, I would argue, when it's one person up, but creating a bit of a vulnerability. Yeah, there it is. So now it's all up to Lunch Lady to watch both of these lines, and I'm assuming, I don't think there were any trades, so I would assume that Varix and William both know there's one left.
Yeah, they were getting very peaky on this defense, and it hurt them to the point where they had the numbers advantage, and now they're left with one defender and arguably the hardest objective to defend. William picks up a third. Again, the experience really coming into play here. Rome knows just how to pick and prod and force the defenders into really awkward positions.
And if you don't mind, can we just go into a quick intermission real fast?
Yeah, sure. We will be back soon.
And they haven't started yet either, so we're good.
Take your drums, stop slacking.
All right, guys, sorry for that brief little intermission. Had some hiccups, but we are back and rolling for round number 3. Prestige on the attack against this western objective. Rome back on the defense. Again, a very good attack from Rome in the last round. Picking and prodding, forcing the defense on those awkward rotations. We'll see how Prestige answers back, now down to 0-2 against Rome.
Yeah, and this is a pretty defendable objective. So Rome's in a strong position to maintain their lead if they can just, at the very least, stop a cap from Prestige. They can even drop a round right now and be okay.
I'm going to take a quick look at some of these defense positions. William in this interesting little trap, but Prestige has previously been pretty good about clearing out this blue courtyard, or this blue alley area, depending on your terminology. See if they maintain that Jay Keller with the free fire down in the north. Not going to find anybody, though. Barrett's holding a really interesting position on the dumpster. You don't see too often. It looks like Rome is... they're purposefully trying to take less meta positions, is what I'm noticing, to try and throw off Prestige's attack, as they're forced to check the normal spots and not find anybody, and now have to check other random spots that they're usually not used to trying to check. Ramen picking up Keller and the quick peek.
Yeah, that was a nice shot.
And William picking up Lunch Lady through the window.
But he can't finish him from that position unless he's got some kind of utility he can toss through the window, which would be one heck of a throw. So Lunch Lady's still in a position to give call-outs and let Regret or anybody else nearby know where his shooter was.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Regret tries to approach this now alone.
3.5
Oh, it's my
v5.
G unit. Launch is down, but I can't get to him.
Brett's backing off. He's going to rotate to the south side of the market and regroup with Dr. Dangle.
Good job, Brian, just dutifully waiting for his backup to rotate to him so they can approach from that western side, southwestern. Just
And
making sure nobody flanks.
We're seeing this continuing pattern with Prestige of having somebody far off, at least one far off and disconnected from the rest of the attack. Good job, Brian, watching. Oh, and Dr. Dangle gets the revive on Lunch Lady. Good job. But good job, Brian, over near the south red truck.
Oh, Ramen picking up Dangle as he peeks the same angle that Keller did.
Double peeking against an experienced team like Rome, it's going to get punished in most cases.
Lunch Lady looking for William still. Did not connect with the shots, though. And 3v5 is going to be a tough ass. 2.5 minutes left on the clock here. Lunch Lady just looking for Ree now. With the drum mag, gonna need all the ammo he can get here. He might actually catch Ree off guard here as he rotates. Oh, but William peeking out.
And that was some unfortunate timing for Prestige, because he had an angle on Ree for a moment. It looked like he was going to chase that a little bit, and then William pops out and gets that key kill. 2v5 on this objective is a real challenge.
Yep, good job, Brian. Is now going to opt to try and prone cross this street, it looks like. Going to have to deal with Mad Hatter. He's looking for Ree as well. Might catch him. Doesn't quite connect with the shots. He's going for the fast cross. Manages to get through Ree's line, but now going to have to deal with Mad Hatter and Ramen.
Yeah, and I was just on Ree's position. He just called out, good job, Brian, and specifically told Mad Hatter to be ready for him. So Ramen and Mad Hatter both have lasers through the west market. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow for him.
60 seconds on the clock, and Regret doesn't have a solid way of supporting Brian. And he goes down to the 2 gunfires. Now down to just Regret. Less than 60 on the clock. Just pushing in onto Reed. He knows he's there, and the trade comes out. Rome bringing in another point. And Prestige is struggling to gain any traction here. How did that go so wrong, Theta?
I think the big one is that they got stopped early in the west market, or excuse me, the west courtyard. William was sort of terrorizing them in there, and then there was also a cross angle from, I believe it was Ramen, shooting from the far side of the objective. That forced them to rotate a bunch, and they were just a little too disconnected to coordinate after that. Rome had the discipline to just kind of sit and wait, force them into a bad spot, and then kind of rush at the end there.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that's hurting Prestige right now is Rome's discipline at just holding their angles. Something that Prestige might not quite be used to with their previous matches and teams that they've gone against. They're really reliant on getting those picks early on, so their rotations don't get punished as much.
And these are the small details that's really the difference. Like, to paraphrase somebody else, there are levels to this. And, you can do really well at the lower levels and use tactics that work there, but you step up to the big show and things change rapidly. The little mistakes you make, the little holes in your game, they get exposed right away. And I think Prestige is getting a taste of that right now. And then the question becomes, can you adapt? Because if you've been doing things for a long time at a lower tier and then you come up here and you can't adjust in time, you're going to lose a lot of matches. And that's the big question mark for Prestige right now, is that they can adapt to this level of play on the fly.
Yeah, that's going to be the huge thing. You have to be able to hop out of habits you've developed for those lower tiers in order to make way for these higher tier matchups, and or else you're going to run into these walls. We're hopping into round number 4 here. Let's get that gameplay open and the alert down. Let's see how Prestige opt to defend this here. Rome, again, doing a really good job in their previous round of just poking at them. They were just being a little too peeky, which ironically is what they rely on when they attack. So we'll see if they manage to sit down and get a little bit more disciplined in their holds. Early free fire from Ramen into the blue alley area. Right
Dude,
onto
my
Keller's
fucking tippy
position. Not
toes
going to
hurt.
find anybody, though.
Wait, why did
Let's go ahead and take an overview look at this defense here. With a heavy focus towards the south. I'm only counting 4 triangles.
4. Yeah, I think.
Looks like they had a drop.
Was there? Because it.
Oh, no,
the
no,
score-
I'm seeing the
scores
fifth
are not
now.
reset.
Nope, the 5th is hiding in the West Market on a red tarp. Lunch Lady. It's going to be a very precarious situation. If that gets pre-fired, Lunch Lady will go down.
Yeah, Lunch Lady's position, kind of a classic example of concealment but not cover, because you can shoot through those wood planks, and the moment they know where Lunch Lady is, they can just light it up, and there's not much he can do about it.
Shots from Purple Red on a really tight angle towards that alleyway. Getting smoked out now, though, so it's all blind fire. Not going to find their mark.
They might cross.
Varric's now putting smoke into the West Market. All this smoke is doing is creating a lot of chaos for the defense to try and deal with. And Varric's picking up Regret. Got right past Keller's line.
And Keller's about to get bum rushed by Mad Hatter and Ree as well.
Split our attention here. William picking up Lunch Lady again in the West Market. Down to a 3v5. And most of the defense is on the other side of the street. Good job, Brian. Trying to rotate a bit closer. Dangle picking up Ramen on the cross. Mad Hatter picking up Keller. William picking up Dangle now. And it's just down to Brian to defend this objective. A very tough ask against 4 members of Rome.
Yeah, they're calling for a confirm on Dr. Dangle, too, so... Oh, there it is.
And Varric's catches. Good job, Brian, again on the cross. Rome just exploiting this requirement for them to rotate. What was the greatest part about that attack that made it work so well?
I think it was just the timing. They just surrounded the objective. They were getting picks, and also in this western courtyard, they were just surrounding defenders and taking shots. And it also, I think it was William Dunce, I don't remember exactly, but picking off that defender in this West Market area opened up the south. It all sort of just collapsed right away in that round. And that's, again, just a mark of the more experienced team, having that kind of timing and knowing exactly how to encircle the objective so that defenders are losing angles left and right.
Yeah, that's definitely something that shines with experience. Being able to sync up so well during the most pinnacle points of the round when things are happening so quickly. It really just comes down to playing with your team and playing with the members.
Yep. In some sense, as cliche as it may sound, there are very few substitutes for experience.
And here we go. Ooh, into Suburbia. And this is a Rome pick. Interesting choice. I think this is actually going to play a little bit into Rome's hands because Prestige isn't going to have as much room to do their free rotations. And it's going to be a lot harder for them to get away with it.
Agreed.
Starting with the burning building objective, kind of over here in the southeast corner. This one is very cappable, though. There's a lot of cover. There's a lot of little sneaky crouch routes that you can take. Rome has the experience of defending this objective, but Prestige has the cappers. It could go either way, honestly.
Well, truth be told, Rome is very good at capping as well. They are not playing Gladiator right now, who is kind of their more famous capper out of the crew, but William, Barracks, and a few others, I think, on their team are pretty good at capping. So the real meta right now in general seems to be throwing smokes, dropping cover fire, and then rushing in for the cap. I know for a fact Rome is capable
likes
of
to
that.
do that. Yep. That's a big
So-
Rome thing.
And Prestige is going to get tested once again on this, because if they don't watch this carefully, it's going to be 2 points for Rome.
Let's see just how that turns out in round 1 as we leave the overlay, so
I'll be the
nobody
one to
has
die to
to
the free
squint awkwardly to see what's
I can
happening.
make it to lane 4. I'm not gonna wait. So I'll crouch under their shots.
Ooh. Regret's gonna risk the pre-fire.
Don't shoot. Don't
Looks
shoot,
like
don't
he's
shoot.
gonna make
Please,
it out
fuck
though,
it.
as no pre-fire comes out, and as you said, the smoke starts to boil out from the hands of Rome. And as they push straight into the playground, William getting very close to this right off the bat. Gonna find Keller possibly if he gets too pushy. Oh, but Keller gets him with the C4. Ramen pushing up onto Regret's free fire. Regret manages to swing, downing him. Actually getting a full kill. William only down though. Good job, Brian and Mad Hatter trading in center house. And Ree also up there. Dangle going for the kill. He manages to find it. And Regret picking up Barracks. A very fast round for Prestige, taking the first point. The action was so split up here. With all that smoke, I thought they would be more on top of the objective. I didn't quite see what happened in the middle. Theta, did you have a better view on that?
I was switching back and forth because I could hear you calling action in both spots, so I was trying to find anything that you were missing and potentially call it out, but the middle house was just a slaughterhouse. There was just something going on in there every other moment. And I think the key was they got a C4 into the playground early. It was there, and then William Dunce was trying to prone up to the objective, but Keller blew him up, and that pretty much took away the entire playground push. That stopped it in its tracks. And then they tried to go into the middle house, and that did not work out. Amazingly, Prestige with 4 up on that defense. So dominant defensive play there.
Yeah, I think they were well prepared for that early aggression. Surprisingly more prepared than I expected. I think that C4, like you said, it really threw off that attack. They weren't prepared for something like that. And they just didn't adapt to the situation fast enough, I don't think. And Regret picking up Barracks with the free fire. Right off the bat.
I was looking at the clock. It was 5:59 when he went down. So died within the very first second of the round. That is brutal.
And Regret picks up William. 2
Wow.
down from the pre-fire that Suburbia is so famous for. Those are the early picks that Prestige relies so heavily on.
And as we've talked about on other casts, losing people early in this game is so critical. It can really shift the balance of an entire match if you don't have a full roster for at least the first minute. And Suburbia is just one of those maps where it's easy to lose those people because of the hedges and all the lanes that are fired through.
100%. It creates such a psychological damper. Of course, Prestige isn't aware they've gotten both of those kills. They do not have an accurate kill count. But I don't think that'll be too much of a deficit, as they're going to run into less angles or less fire as they make this approach.
And Prestige making their way.
Flank. Ooh, almost gets picked off by Lunch Lady. Again, Prestige being very good at holding out for flankers.
Okay, so here, this could get really dangerous for Rome because they only have 1 on objective. The other 2 are pretty far away. If they can pick off Ramen and get to those sandbags, they could potentially prone and be okay, because Mad Hatter may not have enough of an angle there. So there goes the flanker.
The whole entire team shifted from the objective being their objective to Ree being their objective as they all took firing lines to take care of him. That was kind of funny to watch. Lunch Lady called out Ree, and they immediately turned around and just waited.
I've got a smoke.
There's a whole firing squad. That was kind of beautiful to watch.
And Ree just disconnected. It's like he got killed so hard by all those people that it just
just sent him out of the game.
It sent him into the next dimension.
That's amazing. And it's down to a 5v2.
Now, 4 of them on lane 4. And if Ramen knew this and just tossed a grenade over the house, this would be a bad, bad moment for Prestige. But
and the grenade comes out. A little bit off though. Flashbang comes out as well, and the whole team is just bombarding Ramen here. Mad Hatter with a great supporting angle. Greg going for a blind fire that he got in the All Valley tournament. Doesn't work out this time though. And the reload not fast enough. Ramen picking up another. Mad Hatter picking up Brian. Now down to a 2-2. Dangle finds Ramen. Oh, Mad Hatter's gonna have to take another angle. And the TK! Oh no! And then Mad Hatter finds Dangle!
Wow.
Brings it
5v2.
to a 1-1.
5v2. And Rome takes it anyway. That was something to behold. That, especially that team kill, was so unfortunate because that flank was coming. Potentially, that was a cap. If that team kill didn't happen, I don't think the last defender on Rome would have known enough because he was so focused on lane 4. That could have potentially just been like a run into the front yard and cap, and I don't think they would have been able to react fast enough to stop it.
Oh, I mean, Prestige was looking so clean there, and the chaos of Mad Hatter and Ramen just threw them off. I mean, it was a 5v2. That was crazy. Unfortunate events, but those are the kind of things that you come out to witness in Onward. Wow.
Yep. And the nice thing, too, for these newer teams is, regardless of outcome, they've got footage they can review, and this should be, no matter what happens on the scoreline, a learning experience for them. And everybody has to go through this as a newer player. You have to face off against teams which have been around a lot longer than you, and potentially, not saying, I mean, the match is not over by any stretch. They could still come back, but, if they have to eat a loss, then whatever. That's just what you have to do sometimes in this game. It's a tough game, no doubt about it.
Yeah, the strategy involved. In the mind game, you have to be wondering what kind of nerves are going through Prestige right now. They know this is the hardest match they've come across so far. So it's a question of how much are they letting it get in their head.
Yeah, I would argue that is one of the hardest skills to develop, is just the mental toughness to get through it, especially, they just dropped the first map, and now they're tied up on the second one. Can they just dig deep enough to persist and not let that hurt them psychologically as a team? That's the real challenge here right now. And Rome has enough experience. They're probably feeling very confident right now. They probably feel like, all right, we know we can beat them. Let's finish this map off and get the win.
Oh yeah, for sure. The difference in mindsets here is playing such a huge role. It's not something you can see, but it's something you can just tell or assume. As we hop in to the next round here, round number 3. Once again, getting rid of those pesky overlays that nobody likes, but Noman spends so much time on.
They are nobody's friend during a round, let me tell you.
You hold like the lane.
And again, the aggressive smokes coming out here. Ree gonna push right into the middle house. Good job, Brian, missing his shot. Ree finding Jake Heller, while good job, Brian picks him off. A little bit of a refrag incident going on there. 4v4 now. They only expended Ree as a resource into middle house, though.
Yeah, William Dunce now right next to that window. I don't think Good Job Brian knows he's there because the smoke is probably giving both audio and visual cover. Oh, yeah, there he is. He surprises. Good job, Brian, and gets the kill. Now 3v4 in favor of Rome.
And the objective is being challenged. Lunch Lady not looking outside the window. So worried about getting assaulted in the middle house. Ramen's going for the crawl cap, but Dangle denies that. And Flashbang comes out. Not going to find anybody, though. Hatter has a little coverage from the smoke, but not for long, so he's going to rotate off of that angle. It's down to a 3-3. The offense a little spread out here. Not in very good positions to support each other.
Marks in particular is out on the playground now. He might play a role here.
Oh, a trade.
Yeah, a trade. Now we're down to 2-2. So Varix, he may play a key role here, like I was saying, because I think they're focusing the most on middle house. Can't really tell right now, but Dangle and Regret both looking for kills. Varix has not made any noise whatsoever or exposed himself, so they have no way of knowing that he's in playground at the moment.
Yeah, Dangle almost has two different angles he's going to have to focus on here. He's going to have to watch for William coming up lane 2, but also the delayed approach of Varix, like you were saying, that nobody's prepared for. Dangle's still watching towards playground, though, just in case.
Yeah, and if you go to camera 2 here, you can see that Varix is probing. If he sees Dr. Dangle in that window, Dangle will have almost no recourse to fire back. That's such a tight angle. And again, this is a real veteran move here, knowing about this angle. It's a matter of whether Dr. Dangle will check the angle and peek. So far, they're playing pretty patiently. I think they're doing the right thing, just staying tucked, not exposing themselves to the really nasty angles, particularly from middle house.
Yeah, I think Prestige is now getting caught on to the fact that they're peaking a little bit too much, and Rome is just exploiting that very harshly. Varix just stomach to the ground here, looking for any angle onto these defenders that he can find. I'm not sure if they have an accurate kill count with all these trades that happened.
I don't think they do. I'm trying to think. Okay, yeah, I don't think there are. I'm looking for the trade locations, but can't really tell. If they were in the middle house and William Dunce could see bodies, be able to deduce that. Yeah, because all three are in middle house, actually. I think they probably do have an accurate kill count at this point.
If William made a special note to pay attention to that, they should have a kill count.
Yeah, Regret doing the right thing on this angle, too. He's just watching towards the lane 1 side. He's not exposing himself to the house. And Dangle doing something similar. Just basically waiting for them to close in, because they know that these offensive players have to cross. There is no way to cap or get near the objective without coming across the street. It's just a matter of how long they're going to wait for them to get across.
And the crawl attempts are coming out once again here. William going to try and clear this lawn, and Dangle's not going to peek this. He's trying too hard to stay low, maintain his very specific angle. He's pulling out his tablet. I don't think Dangle can hear that. And he's going to try and cap from right outside the garage, and he could do it.
Yep.
He's going to do it. This is a cap. He's doing it now.
He's putting in the number right now. This is happening. This is going to be 3-1 Rome.
Oh, man. Prestige is not going to know how this happened. Monocap? Varix picks up Dangle. William trying to move, and Varix gets the kill.
Wow.
William taking a little too long.
That should have been a cap. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm assuming there wasn't a signal put out, but man, that was a really good line William took too. He deduced that they were not watching directly onto the lawn, which was accurate, and then he just proned his way in there. I'm not sure, maybe his tablet was glitching or something. I know that happens sometimes while you're proning, but still a win. But I don't know. In my opinion, that should have been 2 points for them.
Yeah, that was very lucky for Prestige to not have gotten capped on right there. and they're definitely going to make some adjustments to their defense after seeing that. Very harsh line. Man, Prestige just, I really think they're struggling to adapt to this new type of combat that they're facing against Rome. They're having to deal with people who aren't peeking and can hit their shots and can sync up a little bit better than their previous opponents, and I think they're just not used to that.
Yeah, I could not agree more.
You can definitely see the bad habits of the low tier fights coming out from Prestige.
Yeah, and that's, man, it's such a challenge when you're used to playing at those tiers, and then you get bumped up. And then it's very hard to deduce, like, was it just bad luck? Was it because of the tactics? If you're not used to doing that kind of analysis in particular, it's a real shock, and it really damages the resolve of a lot of players because they feel confident going in, they have a bad game, and then they're just not sure what to do after that. They're not sure how to make those adjustments, especially when it's happening in-game.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, I mean, Prestige looked so strong against some of these low tiers, and now, I mean, just the slight changes between those silver teams and this now gold team is just enough to stop them in their tracks.
Yep.
And we are now hopping into round number 4, an early C4, looks like an accidental discharge. As they said, a waste of 2 points, and the pre-fire once again coming out from Regret. But Rome is a little bit smarter this time and not going to run into that.
I don't get paid enough to do this shit.
I think you heard that too.
Yeah, I did. I caught that. I was zooming around and heard it.
That was pretty funny. You don't get paid at all. Except in t-shirts that never arrive.
That's true, yeah. If you want the fame and fortune, you get the t-shirts. That's the trade. Lunch Lady, it's funny, it feels like Lunch Lady is kind of like their designated flank watcher. And good job, Brian tends to do it a lot too, but I'm noticing that Lunch Lady and Regret both watching for flanks. Looks like Lunch Lady watching more towards the lane 4 side, Regret watching lane 1. But so far, Rome not really trying too many flanks.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Lunch Lady maybe is one of their more patient people in general, and maybe that's why they're specifically in charge of that sort of watch. And Rome is just, again, staying tucked in, and Prestige isn't quite sure how to deal with it.
You and me, let's group up. Let's smoke the front of the mansion. Me, Brian,
This is one of those adaptations, kind of at the bronze and silver tier. You see a lot more flanking. People take way bigger risks on a regular basis. But when you're playing against the gold and up guys, like, I don't know. It's unusual to see, aside from a couple of outliers, teams that spend a lot of time and energy on flanks, especially on defense.
Rome, at least the current roster that is playing right now, are not ones to do that. Free with the occasional aggression, I would say. Ooh, and the early shots from Ree gonna give away his position.
Concrete lane 2.
Keller, good job, Brian and Dangle, all gonna challenge this. But Keller actually wasn't ready for Ree in there. Gets shot in the side and picked up to a 5v4 now. Confirm comes out. Dangle and Brian now well aware of Ree's position. And they're gonna have to deal with it if they hope to make any more progress.
Yeah, and Ree's position's such a good one because you know they have to deal with it. Oh, and there's the trade.
Trade comes out. Brian is not gonna know that it was a trade, so he's still gonna be using up energy and resources to deal with where Ree was. Regret just holding this lane 4 angle. Again, they're so reliant on pushes and aggressive defenders that the bronze teams and even silver teams like to throw out.
Yeah, again, Rome, I mean, I haven't watched much footage of Rome recently, but from my experience with them, they don't really do a lot of flanking, so maybe occasionally, but they're just not one of those teams where you think like, oh yeah, these guys are flankers.
Okay.
So I'm not sure why this dedication to flanking is being seen by Prestige on offense.
It's their generic war. That is how they play. That is how they set up their attacks. Watch for flank, rotate, meet up with the flank watcher, and attack from a different angle. But
Yeah,
so reliant on these picks.
Yeah, Regret and William Dunt's about to get into it on lane 4, it seems like. Oh, as I say that, he rotates around the burning house. They are no longer potentially in conflict.
Regret's really trying to pick off either William or Mad Hatter at least before they make this approach. And again, more smoke coming out. Not really going to benefit a whole lot. Oh, Lunch Lady finding Ramen from the lane 1 ATC. A really good pinch right there. Lots of pre-fire coming out. Lunch Lady might actually find William in the side. William's unaware, but Regret actually picks him up. Down to a 2-3 now.
Prestige doing an excellent job of getting these picks and evening them out.
And Good Drive Brian picks up Mad Hatter. Down to just Varix in the lawn. No cap should come out, though, as they have to deal with him unless they flashbang him. There's no getting past him. So it's either a kill or a loss. Oh, a smoke. Not quite far enough.
Yeah, just a little too far south to cover any advancement. That is unfortunate for Prestige, because if it was just a little further to their left, Varix would be stuck. He would have to rotate.
If Lunch did a full sprint and Varix misses and he gets the code in fast enough, it could.
Oh.
And as I say that, Varix with the quick reflexes. Brett didn't hear Varix shoot, but oh, the quick reflexes. Spins around and catches Varix on the ground, giving Prestige a point and bringing this to a tie to 2-2.
Yeah, Prestige showing some maturity here and not allowing themselves to get taken out of the fight, despite having lost the first map. Rome, as we talked about before, always a cap threat, so they have to have a tight defense here. Losing a round by 1 point would not be a huge deal. It wouldn't be great. You don't ever like to be in a position where the other team can win in one round, but they absolutely cannot have a cap come out. Match is over if a cap comes out.
Yeah, lucky for them, this one a little bit easier to prevent a cap on, as it requires some pretty open rotations. However, if they're not prepared for that smoke barrage that Rome has been putting out, they could slip right in. Prestige did a really good job at coming back on that last round, though. That attack, they managed to sync up center and left and right flanks and did a really good pinch onto the defense. They got the picks that they needed as they needed them.
Yeah, Regret in particular was really putting in the effort with his LMG. He's now standing at 6-2 and is the top frag for Prestige at the moment. It seems like they use him as just kind of like a permanent suppressive fire person. And it really pays off because I think it covers up a lot of what they do, at least audio-wise, and keeps people in place.
Yeah, it's really nice to have somebody who's dedicated to that sort of role. One thing I hate to see is LMG or support people using the LMG as a rifleman or being in a rifleman type of position. If you have an LMG, your whole purpose is to provide that sound coverage, that suppression, that distraction. If you're not doing that for your team, you're almost handicapping them. You're denying them that power. as we hop into round number 5.
Wait. Okay, never mind.
That's one thing we did a lot of back in Blackwatch, is always had LMGs for suppression, as they're just such a powerful tool.
That was impressive, Lunch.
Lunch lady. That was impressive. And the Free Fire coming out here. Looks like it's not going to find anybody, though. It's good to see that both teams are still in high spirits. Even Prestige, despite losing map number 1, their morale is still pretty good, as we heard back in Spawn. So they are not losing the mind game. Oh, a beautiful grenade. If there was a defender there, they would be gone. Unfortunately, doesn't find anybody, though. And an interesting 3-1-1 split from Rome, as they are focusing lane 4. What I expect them to do is get plenty of smoke into the middle of the street, rotate around the backyard, and come in from the northwest.
It's just all random pre-fire right now.
Watching this approach here, Ramen just taking some pop shots onto some possible defender positions. Just trying to keep their heads down. If he peeks us again, good job Brian might catch him though.
Lady about to meet lane 2.
Oh!
Lady. Wow.
A nice little peek there. Ramen just wasn't ready for somebody so close. Lunch Lady's position being a little unorthodox. Not a lot of people hang out in front of these garages as opposed to being on the porch.
Lunch Lady takes some more shots at Ree, but Ree breakdances through that.
The dancing is the meta now, as we saw with Nardu over on Sneak Peek. Is down to just under 4 minutes here. Lunch Lady still looking for Ree. Takes off some more pre-fire shots. Shots from Mad Hatter straight onto Keller. Not going to find their mark, though. And here comes the smoke now as they prepare for the cross. Regret's ready for it, though. Gonna pick up Mad Hatter. Oh, just barely ducks behind the concrete.
He's lane 2.
Shots. Ree picking up Lunch Lady over from lane 3. I think Lunch Lady getting a little too peeky over there. Really determined to find Ree. Gets himself shot.
The problem is Brett's looking away right now. Ree is coming through lane 2. He doesn't watch that angle. Oh, and Mad Hatter gets regret as I say that.
And it's down to a 4v3 with Rome up in numbers here. Jay Keller's not going to be ready for Mad Hatter to rotate behind him. And
Wow,
a beautiful
what?
Grenade.
What a grenade. I caught the very tail end of that. Just perfectly placed there.
Oh my goodness, I was not at a good angle. I kind of caught it on the side of my screen, and good job Brian picks up Mad Hatter on the flank, now down to just Varix. That grenade was an absolute key pick, denying Ree. And that was looking on the down low for Prestige, but they quickly turned that around. See how Varix tries to assault this by himself now. He's got 3 members of the defense to try and deal with. He's going to have to pick them off, but we've seen Rome come back from something similar in the previous round. And he picks up, good job Brian getting peeky, down to a 1v2, going to help even things up here. Prestige is going to have to stop and just hunker down.
Yeah, Prestige really needs to stop peeking so much because they've had this situation several times now where they should have had the round, but they just weren't positioning themselves well, and Rome takes advantage of it. And Varix is a dangerous player on his own. So 1v2 is still very winnable for Rome, particularly if Prestige does not hunker down and just watch their angles.
I'm a little bit worried here if Varix manages to pick up Dr. Dangle and get out there quick enough, if Varix crouches behind those Heskos, Keller's going to have to make a pretty big rotation to take him down from the other side. It could be a cap.
Yeah, and I'm seeing there's a lot of bouncing around on these lasers. Oh, and now they know where Varix is.
Less than 60 on the clock. Varix giving away his position. Going to be a little bit harder for him now. Let's actually get in his first-person perspective to see how he's clearing this.
And I'm
Gonna
looking
run
on his
right
vest.
into the line.
Looking on his vest, he doesn't have any utility, so he has no way to mask his movements here with smoke or anything.
The 30-second timer beeping on his watch now.
Varix is hard. Oh, they should have an angle on him right now. Keller and Dangle both should be able to see him. 20 seconds. They can basically just wait now. They don't even have to do anything. He can rush them. He can rush.
Oh, and he picks up Keller. Dangle now in an awkward position. He's going to have to hold. He's only got 5 seconds. Just sneak around the car. Exactly what he's doing. He might get shot in the butt, but he runs out of time. Varix just a little bit slow on the push. Dangle just playing ring around the rosy around that car.
Yeah, that was, I have to say, that was an extremely self-aware moment by Dangle. I think he could hear the footsteps because Varix was running at him, and he just made sure he stayed low and moved around the car. And that's all it took. I mean, he got killed the moment the round ended, but he spent just enough time out of cover, or in cover, to prevent that round from going to Rome. So, wow, what a, again, just a very veteran move there to have that kind of awareness and not go for the kill.
That was one of those moments where not doing anything was the smartest thing you could possibly do. I mean, it was just such a high-level thought that most players aren't going to think of. They're going to try and get that kill. They may know it's the last guy. They need to kill him, but no. Just let the time run out. And that beautiful, beautiful decision.
But now, Rome is in the better position just being on Volk. But if Prestige can take this, we will go to a decider map, and I know that's what everybody wants to watch. As a player in the headset, you want the match to be decided as quickly as possible. You don't like that anxiety, but for everybody watching at home, you obviously want to see that third map actually mean something. So, you know, no matter what your bias is on who wins this, I think most people want to see a third map, if possible, that is a decider.
Yeah, third map deciders are always so much fun, and I've actually, most of my casts that I've done so far have come down to last map deciders. So this will be interesting. We'll see if Prestige manages to pick and prod at the really patient Rome here. As we hop into the next round, the overlays already down. Those pesky overlays. And going into round number 6.
Just can't trust those overloads.
You really can't. They're out to get you. I swear Noman just created them just to destroy us.
Yeah, Rome taking a totally different tact here and sending Ramen and William Dunce into the fight right away.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what sparked this change, but it is throwing Prestige for a loop when they would normally be prepared for this sort of thing. I wonder if they just got comfortable with moving up quickly.
Yeah, that's, I don't know if that's a deliberate mind game that Rome is playing with them, but wow, what a psychological trick to play, because they are for sure comfortable moving up quickly and taking ground early in the round, and Rome just decided that is not happening this round. And William got regret through the hedges. I don't think he knows that he got that one.
No, he definitely is not aware of that down. Unless he heard, you know, regret yelling as if he just got punched in the nuts like these Onward players do.
Ooh, and Varix just misses the peak onto the revive. That could have been critical. So 3v4 is doable. 3v2 would have been devastating for this round.
4v2, actually.
4v2. You're right. Yeah, sorry. Math is hard.
Where are you, Mono? I thought Theta was in here.
How dare you?
And the offense of Prestige is relatively all together, so it's going to be easier for them to sync up here. I regret trying to return fire through the hedges onto William. William is long gone. I think Ree is going to be the next position they're really going to have to deal with here. Maybe even Varix as well. Rotation coming out over to lane 1 while Regret does his thing with gathering all the attention with the LMG. Will they be ready for Ree, though, coming around this corner? Lunch Lady's looking for it. He's cleared that corner, so I wonder if he's just going to assume the whole alleyway is clear. Which he is, and Ree manages to exploit that. Regret looking for a tight line towards Ree. Not quite going to find it, though. Down to a 2v4. This is not going to be an easy task. Good job, Brian. Now knows he has to deal with Ree around the hedges. He could pre-fire over and hope to hit the head. And the flashbang comes out. That's a good flashbang. He pushes onto Ree, manages to get the kill and or the down and confirm. Down to a 2v3. Regret maintaining. And
wow.
Good job, Brian. Takes up Varix in the back, but William shuts down Regret. It's 1v2 now.
Oh, this could get spicy real quick because Mad Hatter watching lane 1, but William's still way far off of objective. He has an angle towards the objective, so it's not impossible, but if Good Job Brian can find some way, although it's, as I say that, he's rotating to lane 4, but if he could clear Mad Hatter, he would have a window to get to the objective before William could do anything about it. Well, I'm looking at his vest right now. He doesn't have any utility as far as I can tell.
I think he's going to try and play a little bit of a mind game here and poke and prod from one spot, move to the next, because he knows they heard him in the other spot. He's going to try and salvage some utility. Oh, he doesn't grab the utility, just the ammunition. Interesting choice. He's just rotating. Let's go ahead and hop into his first-person perspective so we can follow along here. You might be able to hide just under William's view here and catch Mad Hatter on the side if he maintains this approach. Mad Hatter getting really peeky. He's really nervous about somebody sneaking around the Humvee. 60 seconds left on the clock now.
Good job, Brian decides he's going to start running now.
He sees William in the plant.
Oh, this is so tense. Mad
Oh,
Hatter has to be
1v1.
feeling the... They both have to be feeling the pressure now. 45 seconds left. And this is potentially what sends us to a decider map. Good job, Brian can get this last pick, and if Mad Hatter can stop him, that gives Rome a chance to shut this entire match down for Rome in one more round.
Mad Hatter's looking everywhere. They definitely don't have an accurate kill count.
Oh, good job, Brian, taking a
Swing
wide
wide.
peek. This is... Oh, it's so close. Oh, I think he's going to see him.
And he gets
Wow.
the kill.
Yeah, we get that decider map that everybody wants to see. What a map.
And good job, Brian, being so excited, yells himself into the next dimension as his mic couldn't pick him up. He couldn't understand what was happening. Oh,
wow.
my goodness.
Wow, what? That was just holding
This
me in
was
suspense.
Rome's pick, too. Last match
Yep.
last map was Prestige's pick, and they got 4-0'd. And then Rome takes them to Suburbia. And I predicted Prestige wouldn't be able to take it. I thought it would play
boy.
more into Rome's. Oh, man. It's Subway, boys.
Oh boy, a decider on Subway. What a treat. This is always my favorite.
Oh.
Not that I'm biased or anything.
I mean, yeah, it's not like it's Mayhem's favorite or anything.
Nope, nope.
Just the best thing we could have asked for. And interesting to note, I know Prestige really enjoys this map, and I think that's why they're confident they can take Rome on it. This really plays well into Prestige's style. They can rotate almost wherever they want relatively quickly, and they can easily watch for any flankers.
Yeah, and just in general, oh man, these decider maps are so tense. Especially like you said, you know, you have the second map choice, you won the first one, you walk in, you got a bit of swagger in your step, and then you lose your pick, and you have to go back to their preference now on the deciding map. That is always, it's just tough psychologically. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So Rome,
you got to be wondering, why did they bring us to this map?
Yep. And it's one of the dicier objectives too at the mid platform to begin with. This one is, again, very open to getting smoked and rushed, and both teams, I think, are showing some tinges of aggression, although Prestige, I would argue, playing a little more conservatively than I expected.
Curious to see what kind of tactics they bring out here into Subway. We saw them versus Murphy's Maniacs on there. I believe you were casting that. How did they play there? I didn't get a chance to watch it myself.
You know, I'm having a hard time remembering. Done a lot of casts. I'm old, but
oh yeah.
But I do, from what I remember, Rome won Subway. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they did. And historically, Rome has been pretty good on Subway, from what I remember, and a lot of that was William playing Shield. So I don't know what their kind of meta strategy is for this map at this point. We'll have to just see that unfold. And it looks like we have a drop, too, on Prestige's side.
Yeah, one big thing to note, both of these teams are actually pretty big on shield usage. They both have relatively dedicated shield users, and shield being out of the mix now, I wonder how that's going to affect their normal strategies on this map.
And there's a drop on Rome's side as well. Yeah, no Prestige is at least primarily, they might all be quest players, and I know sometimes the batteries run out when it's a longer match. So I don't know if that's what's going on or something else. I sent a message to one of the captains. We might have to do intermission if they don't respond in a timely manner.
I do want to take a quick look. Do you have any knowledge on how the other two casts are going currently? The other two
let's
matches?
Take a look. Let's take a look.
While we're waiting for that here, I'm going to hop us into the gameplay view so y'all can see the rosters. We haven't had a good amount of time for y'all to take a look at the scoreboard and see the players that are coming out here, but we want to make sure they all get showcased.
I see that, let's see, it's 3-0 on Subway for Era 404 versus Cold, or excuse me, Snow Peak for Era 404 versus Cold Steel. I don't know what the total score line is, though. And it looks like the other match may have been concluded already. See if I can get a score line here.
We do have all players in the lobby, so we could get started at any moment here. Some nice
So there it
Jeopardy
is.
music. Oh, well, there was a round. And here comes the countdown as we prepare for the highly anticipated map or match decider of map number 3 on Subway. Hopping into round number 1 here. Rome starting on the defense in this middle platform objective. Not one of my personal favorites, but a lot of teams really enjoy attacking this one, so we'll see how Prestige deals with it. Let's go ahead and hop into their perspectives to take a look at their approaches.
They might rush number 1 and number 2. I got a flash.
Let's get a quick overhead on the defense.
So if you look on camera 2, there is a C4 on the staircase leading up to the objective. Pretty standard tactic for this objective, but basically impossible for a team to see until it's too late. You know, if you start coming up that stairwell and you have eyes on that C4, you're within the blast radius. So anybody that goes up there is going to be in for a nasty surprise.
Yeah, and Rome is expending a lot of resources
Barracks,
into
actually,
watching
come over
that
here.
exit
Come over here.
with
We don't
Ramen
need you
and
there until,
Barracks
like,
right
later
on the
rounds.
door and then Mad Hatter in the background. But it
Barracks,
looks
you gotta
like
get kicked off
Prestige
the
is
wall.
putting most of their approach into the horseshoe. Judging by their defense, do you think they're going to be able to handle this approach?
Yeah, the horseshoe is a little dicey on this objective because you can put somebody where Mad Hatter is and you've got audio cues. You can't really do anything about that ahead of time. You can't really flash or smoke them or anything to stop them from hearing you. And there's also angles. Let's see. So William Dunce in a position, if he moves, to hit anybody coming from the north, although Ree is underneath the north side. So they've got somebody on each side of the horseshoe. They'll hear anybody coming down, and if they start coming down, they've got shots on both staircases. It could get ugly for them if they keep going this way.
Yeah, it's really going to be a matter of, do they know where to peek, and can they peek it and shoot quick enough before the defense reacts to it? And you can see the defensive lines are actually already starting to move their way towards the horseshoe objectives to kind of peek on it, or the horseshoe stairs.
Good job, Brian and JX Keller are just hanging out in the basement. Again, waiting for some sort of flank, it seems like. But Rome just sitting in place, waiting for somebody to cross their angles.
It was a really good mind game Rome played in the last map. And the offense is just taking it nice and slow, making sure nobody's in any weird positions. Mad Hatter has definitely heard this and possibly even Ree by now. Dangle is sprint rotating. He's probably going to go meet up with Brian and Keller in the bottom.
One's below overpass. Below overpass on the side of horseshoe.
I actually stand corrected. He might actually go north towards the north stairs. Nope, he is going to rotate down into the tunnels. I kind of wonder why they invested him into the horseshoe just to have him go all the way back. Maybe they were expecting a trade or to lose some people in the horseshoe, so he was just there just in case they lost numbers there.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. And I don't know. This is kind of a pattern we're seeing from Prestige, where they are spending a lot of time on activities that are arguably not that productive on offense. Keller going up first. Boy,
Yeah.
if they keep pushing up here with 3, if they... Yeah, Ramen just waiting to hear those footsteps. He's going to get a 3-piece here. There it is.
Oh, and the
Wow.
I think I got
C4.
2.
No, you got 3, sir. And that shuts down the whole offense. Ramen, very ecstatic about that.
Yeah, I can't blame him getting a 3-piece on one go. And Mad Hatter just called out the last 2.
They are
now-
well aware.
And now, as we were just talking about, it's 1 minute and 20 seconds left, 2 left, and 4 up. It looks like there was a drop. But still, 2v4 on this objective, that's tough, and they really can't rotate again. I think that's their preference. They like to rotate a lot, but they can't do that anymore. They just don't have the time. They're going to have to run down the horseshoe one way or another now.
Regret barely dodging these lasers. As I say that, Ramen peeks out once again. Now down to just Lunch Lady to deal with this.
He's got 45 seconds against a full defense. Yeah, this is... I'm going to go ahead and just predict this will probably be a point for Rome.
For sure, this is not going to be an easy ask. Lunch Lady has so many positions he has to clear. Sprouts coming out. I don't think those were onto Lunch Lady, though. Just confirm shots. He's rushing towards the objective, but Mad Hatter gets him in the back. Rome taking the first point on Prestige's map pick. That C4 playing such a linchpin role in that defense.
Oh, like I was saying before, they're going to have a lot of footage to review and kind of revise their game plans. And that's just one of those situations where you're sending too many people bunched up through a bottleneck. And I suspect they will not make that mistake again after that moment.
Yeah, I think that's Prestige's biggest weakness is bunching up. That's something that you saw Peacekeepers doing a lot early on, and they learned really quickly that they needed to adjust that a little bit. And I think Prestige is going to make that same realization here. And adjust the cameras a little bit, make sure we don't miss any of the action. I hope everybody is enjoying this so far. Again, map decider here, everybody's absolute favorite. And of course on everybody's, well, sort of everybody's favorite map. Should be everybody's favorite.
Just objectively the best map in the game. It's just science.
Yeah, 100%. You know, we did scientific method, we did the whole 9 yards, and it is just proven every single time. This is the best map.
Anything that has motion has an equal amount.
Until you get on Bazaar.
Nice.
Then Bazaar becomes the best.
Way to test it out. Nice.
And the reset.
Oh,
Good round,
do we
boys.
see... we don't see any...
No TKs.
Wow.
This is the perfect opportunity to kill your team and not get punished for it.
My
How
disappointment is
how would you not
never-ending.
take it?
Yeah.
Oh man. I wonder, everybody's in lobby. I guess Reed dropped with the 0-0s again, or didn't return. No, William dropped actually. Zeros across. But we are hopping back in. Let's get rid of that scoreboard and hop into round number 2.
The test's good. That's good. You gotta make sure your gun works. Well, actually, that's dangerous.
That's very dangerous. Don't play with your guns.
Alrighty.
You heard it here, folks.
Oh god, I just ran to my wall.
And apparently, running into walls is not dangerous. And a 3-man approach down here. The C4 comes out. I didn't quite see where that landed, though.
I've got it on camera, too, if you want to check it. But it's...
Oh, okay, on the roof.
Yeah, on the ceiling, which... Let's see, I'm going to go into the staircase and see.
That's exactly what I was doing. It's going to be highlighted pretty obviously coming up these stairs.
Yeah. If they just look around, they should see that green light coming up the stairs.
Yep, if you're going to put it on that rooftop, it's got to be a little off-center.
Yeah, the positioning that Ramen had, I'm pretty sure it was Ramen. That was... Oh, Mad Hatter gets Lunch Lady.
Really early pickup here.
Might have just got them. Do you have a flash?
No.
And And Lunch Lady getting just too aggressive on the stairwell. Again, just Prestige making a couple of the same little mistakes here, getting punished for it. But I'm liking the defense that they have set up here with the 4-man. It's not going to be easy to deal with. And Dangle picks up 1 with the C4. Interestingly enough, they didn't see it coming up the stairs.
Yeah, Dangle is really far away, though. They're just not going to be able to stop that.
And back up to a 4v5. They're well aware of Dangle's position, though. And the pinch is coming out from Horseshoe. Smoke coming out. Gonna keep Dangle from getting any accurate shots here. Raman's just gonna leapfrog with the smoke. And he's gonna go for the cap. We'll see if Dangle picks up on the moving smoke.
He's putting shots into the smoke, but it's not hitting the right now.
Raman's checking the code.
Now they're gonna have to deal with Regret on the opposite side, and JF Keller can rotate around to see it.
They are putting heavy focus onto the objective now. This is not going to be an easy cap. Varix picks up Keller, getting aggressive on the rotation. Regret picking up Varix. A great refrag onto the Horseshoe. But now William is going for the prone cap. Good job, Brian picks up Hatter on the other side of the Horseshoe. Williams gonna skyline himself going up this ramp. Dangle should be ready for it.
Yeah, Dangle really needs to peek now.
Oh, William
if you're in that
cannot
position.
cap like that. Oh, Reed just runs right through it. Good job, Brian's gonna have to poke out. He has to move, he has to move. Oh, Regret peeks out, though. And Dangle picks up Ramen. Down to just William. Is he?
I think he's frozen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
He looks like a dead body. I don't think they realize he's alive.
Is this intentional? I wonder.
I'm not sure.
There's a lot of smoke. Maybe he's hoping they will not pick up on the fact that he is alive. I can't tell exactly what's happening now.
I'm not sure either. He dropped his tablet. It looks like he's backing off. Yeah, this is intentional. He is inching his way, trying to not gather too much attention. Doesn't have his tablet, though.
Oh, they have a tight line on that objective, though. Regret's watching carefully. Oh, and Dangle sees the movement.
Yep. Was that a way to try and get out of that sticky situation?
I don't know. Yeah, that was just one of those plays. I think it was pretty brazen, and if he had gotten away with that, that would have been a true highlight reel moment, but just too many lines on the objective at that point.
Man, if there was one defender, he might have gotten away with that, but there were just so many lines right on him. And that was almost a cap. I mean, it took a while for them to peak on the objective. Dr. Dangle called out Ree, and it was a solid, I gotta say, 3 to 5 seconds before Regret poked out. Could have been a cap.
Yeah, very, very dangerous situation. That objective, if you don't have solid coverage on that run-up ramp right next to it, and with a fast enough capper, that's over. But Regret with a very quick adjustment to catch that. And a good defense, because that was going Rome's way until pretty much the end of the round. And it just sort of disintegrated from there.
For sure, Rome had some good pickups, especially picking up Keller out in the open. But the great refrag from Regret, and then good job, Brian, picking up Mad Hatter. That shut down their pinch potential and forced the attack to come from one direction. That made it a little bit easier to bottleneck them. And here's the round countdown timer. Hopping into round number 2, getting rid of the great, evil, almighty overlay into round number 3. Just showing off these scoreboards here real quick. And now we hop into the red.
at the end of the tunnel to shoot him.
Let's see how Rome opts to defend this objective. Do they maintain their patient condensed
You can
When I
see
just
underneath
looked,
it.
you can
defense?
see right
Or
to,
do they push out and play a little
Why
bit
don't
of
I
a
just
mind
go into
game
the
like they
soda
did
machine?
before?
I'm just gonna go to the soda machine.
Okay, whatever.
This is going to play really good into Prestige's hands, I think, because they're going to have a lot of room to kind of poke and prod from different angles. But at the same time, Rome has a lot of ability to just hold down and tuck in. So
There's
I mean,
a-
both teams have their ways.
There's a C4 on camera 2 right now in the tunnels. I think that was a botched throw because hey, that's right on the corner. If they're coming through the tunnels, they will see that.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
going
much
to be easy to
guaranteed.
spot. Of course, we said that on the last one.
Yeah, I think this one might be in a slightly different class because it's right on the corner.
Yeah.
It's like sticking out. It's a non-congruent shape. Like, if they don't spot that one, that's on them, really. But maybe Ramen's just using it as a distraction. Like, everybody focuses on that, and then he pops out and shoots them. I'm not sure.
See, I've used C4 for that, and I do use C4 for that, but in this case, that's a little rough of a decision, just because he can get shot from the side while doing that peek.
Yep. Oh, and William, look at this position that William has right now on camera 2.
Oh.
This is really funky. I don't think I've ever seen somebody play that spot.
He's just so exposed if anybody comes from the north.
Yeah, I would assume that he's thinking that if anybody comes down those stairs, he'll hear them ahead of time. But it's also like it's so unorthodox that maybe I don't know, like it just will be so unexpected that you can catch a few people with it.
He's got a hard line onto that tunnel exit. He's gonna try. I guess his whole purpose is to not deny them the ability to take this middle platform. Look at good job, Brian here, proning around. They're going to be coming up on the C4 relatively soon. Again, they're just waiting for flankers. They're trying to check every single angle, but they're really bunched up again. I wonder if they're going to stay this close to each other when they get to that C4.
Yeah, I don't know. The C4, if it were placed in maybe a slightly less conspicuous spot, I mean, you could potentially get another 3 or 4 piece in this because of how bunched up they are.
Yeah, if they come from this left tunnel, there's no missing that. But if they're all bunched up around that corner and they shoot at that C4 and Ramen does do the peek around, he could pick up 1 or 2 with a collateral shot. They have nobody coming up from the red room with a supporting angle. It's going to be a little bit risky. Disable on the C4. And the flashbang gonna fall behind the trash can, though. Not gonna find anybody. That could have been a really dangerous flash. Ramen's gonna have to deal with 3 members of Prestige here. The grenade comes out.
C4.
Might be a little too far, though.
Tricks.
It was a little too far. Doesn't find Ramen. But he gets taken down by Regret, and the firing squad ensures that
C4.
he is confirmed.
Now, Varus is watching that hallway very carefully, though.
Pop shots. They have less than 2 minutes on the clock. They ate up a
Oh,
lot of
lunch.
time. William getting
Lunch.
aggressive here. Oh! Lunch with
man.
the quick reflexes.
Yeah, that could have gone the other way very easily. William just didn't see him through that railing as he was running.
And it's down to 90 seconds. Good job, Brian, picking up Varix and the TK.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's down to a 4v2, though. Looking good for Prestige. Lunch Lady about to challenge the objective. Coming up on the 60-second mark. The full push from Prestige coming down from the south. Ree's gonna try his luck and peek it. Mad Hatter waiting for Lunch Lady to come down these north stairs. Lunch Lady finding Ree on the rotation, down to just Mad Hatter, and another TK from Regret.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. He was
Hey,
just pre-firing the line.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice,
my
nice.
goodness.
I don't know if you caught that.
I didn't.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah. He gave himself a title for team killing. I'm not going to repeat it because we're trying to keep this cast clean, but pretty funny.
Oh, no. As we give Prestige another point, the TKs, you can tell Prestige is feeling nervous about this. Their hands are sweaty. Mom spaghetti. But they are... they're feeling it. They're feeling it. But that attack was pretty nice. I mean... How close was it to failure, though, especially with those TKs?
I don't know. I mean, the TKs came out, but I'm pretty sure Prestige had 5 and then Regret TK twice. And it was down to 3v1, even with the TKs. On this objective, it's just so hard to defend with 1, and especially when you've got 3 coming from the railing and you're the last one on objective. I don't think they were that critical. If it was a closer kill count on both sides, it would have been a big deal. But in that case, they could kind of get away with it.
Yeah, and I wonder how badly would that have been effective if William had gotten away with taking down Lunch Lady up there. Would it have still succeeded?
I don't know.
It was an overwhelming force in the south. They did that really well, but again, staying so bunched up. It's a great way to maintain in sync with your teammates and maintaining refrag lines, but it's so dangerous to explosives. We are hopping into round number 4 here. Let's get rid, once again, of the evil scoreboard
Or actually, yeah, no.
and hop into round number 4.
Okay, give Dangle a clacker. Above the door, Dangle?
See how
Okay.
different
above the door.
Prestige holds this
Outside of it or
objective
inside
here.
of it?
They are up a point here,
right
and
here?
they have the Volk advantage.
Behind the security camera.
I'm just watching the map right now. I'm not even looking at Rome specifically, but wow, they are bunched up. Okay, it looks like they're sending 1 across now. Never mind. Now it's 2-1-2 for them.
This
And,
is interesting. Good job, Brian. Placed a C4 for one of his teammates on the door out here. Go and put it on 1. Good job, Brian. About to have to fend off against all of these attackers. He actually ends up rotating back. He says, nope, not dealing with this. I need help.
I
So
just
he runs
wonder if
into support.
they're going to spot that C4, because you can kind of see the outline when you get close.
Yeah, they definitely didn't hide it too efficiently. I'm wondering who has the clacker. Maybe it's Dangle over here in the corner. Yes, he does. He has the clacker.
Yeah, and he's moving closer now so he can hear. Or he was for a moment, I guess not anymore. Aside from Lunch Lady up on the mid platform, Prestige pretty much just staying tight to the objective. I imagine they're trying to protect their lead. If Dangle puts the trigger now, it will be at least 1 kill. So far, not making that decision.
Yeah, he's gonna wait, I think, until Regret calls that there are people in movement in there. I think he's waiting for the call out from Regret. But if Ree turns around and looks at the frame of that door...
Clear.
Oh, and they get blown up while they're back in the tunnel. Unlucky timing there as we continue a 5v5. Take a look at Lunch Lady's position here. Holding down the north stairs down to the basement. Barracks just staying really low, not going to get spotted out here. Take a look at Reese pre-fire. Smoke comes out from Dangle. An interesting choice. They're actually defensively placing smoke so their players can rotate. And the trade. Dangle still resable though. Mad Hatter's gonna rotate. Might pick up the revive. Lunch Lady picking up Varric. Mad Hatter picking up one. Good job, Brian, picking up Ree. Down to a 2v4 with good job, Brian, picking up Dr. Dangle. The rest of the attack now out to Ramen and Mad Hatter up in the top middle platform. The tunnel's getting shut down. I had my attention split a little bit. Did you see anything interesting I didn't catch?
No, I was just watching the confrontation on the platform itself. Ree ran out of the smoke, and good job, Ryan, I believe. Yeah, he's the one who ran out and got the revive, which was a key moment because Ree could have confirmed that kill and even gotten good job Brian because he was running around on the platform. So some luck really headed towards Prestige's way. And now Mad Hatter and Ramen deciding to group up into this bottleneck, which could end up being pretty dangerous for them.
Right where one of their players just died, but Ramen's actually going to rotate off and split up a little bit here. But against 4 defenders all in this basement, this is going to be a really tough ask. As long as Prestige stays tough. But as I say that, Dr. Dangle pushes out and dies to Mad Hatter. Oh, man. An aggression move that didn't need to happen.
He just saw Mad Hatter take some shots, and then his body lit up with red. I don't know if you saw that. I think that might have been self-shot there on accident.
Ramen's going to peek right onto good job Brian and pick him off, getting too peaky, and now down to a 2v2.
Wow, this is getting close. A minute and a half. It's now been evened up. 4v2 to a 2v2. But they have to get close to objective.
And Ramen picks up Regret, getting really peaky. Regret just not having the accuracy that Ramen did with the LMG versus the rifle. Down to just Keller, gonna be attacked from 2 different directions here. Keller picks up Ramen. Now looking for Hatter, and he picks up Hatter.
Oh! Wow, what a clutch. What a
clutch. The transition from one target to the next was almost spot on. He actually missed Hatter for a second and got wounded, but the quick reflexes and the body armor coming together to allow for the clutch.
Yeah, what a shot. I thought for sure Rome was going to win that one. It just looked like, you know, he was looking away at one moment, and then there was somebody coming from the opposite angle, but that snap right on to the opposing player was just beautiful. It was a sight to behold there. So nice job by Prestige, and now they are 1 point away from upsetting this very experienced Rome team, although Rome will have the Volk advantage going into this next round.
And risking to excite you a little too much, have you noticed the objective for the possible last round?
Oh boy, this
yeah.
You just could not ask for anything better than this. Not only do we get Subway as a deciding map, but the potential deciding round is going to come on North Stairs. Fantastic.
Oh man. Only could get better if it was 3-3.
Yeah, I say upset. I wanted to make sure I wasn't out of line here. I'm looking at the votes. There's actually 38 favoring Prestige versus 33 on Rome, which I find really surprising. Yeah, I would think that Rome would be more heavily favored in this, but I guess the league felt differently in this case.
I think part of the interest or part of the reasoning for that, Prestige just being such a, I would say, popular team amongst some of these lower ranks, they see Prestige doing really well, and they're being very supportive, and I think they were, I just think that they felt that they could really take on these teams, such as Rome and other gold level teams. And it might be partially because of the misinformation of them having the diamond brain.
Where's William? Does he want to flash?
Oh, they're about to pass off a flashbang to William. I think he's going to get aggressive up here
Don't grenade
to
us.
challenge the North Stairs early on.
this is such a high variance place to play aggressively in. It can pay off, but it can also really blow up in your face.
Against a team like Prestige, they're going to be ready for this. This is what they want Rome to do.
Yeah, they want them to come out and rush into them because they play patiently and watch angles on even on offense.
Oh, Dangle and Lunch Lady about to run right into Ree. Wow, Ree picking up 2 and only downed. That was a key moment in the rest of this round right there. That swing, trading 1 for 2.
And Mad Hatter, yeah, it looks like he might come for the revive. He's running up.
If Keller opts to get pushy, could pick it up, but it looks like he's just going to wait for the flank. He doesn't know it was a trade.
You guys on that frag?
Yeah, this is kind of the problem with this style of offense, is there's no chance for a refrag here. There's no chance for a follow-up.
Call me, Blazer.
So somebody gets downed and does not get finished off. They can be safely revived.
All right, so Keller just made the call out that he's going to hold this angle and wait for a flanker, and then he's actually going to rotate to the south stairs. So it's going to be a 1-2 split for the rest of the round.
This. And Ree seems to be kind of bouncing back and forth, trying to decide if he wants to keep going or not.
Oh, William picks up Regret with the C4 over the wall. A grenade almost picks up Brian. And Brian, with a nice sneak into the corner, picks up William. I don't think William was prepared for somebody to have moved up. And since it was only a down, the revive is going to come out. 4v3. Such a risky move, going for the C4 and then a peek out, costing them 1 player for none.
Screw 1 north. We're going to rotate back.
Ree opting to do what I would argue is the smarter thing so far, which is hang back. Although, as I say that, he just sprints up the horseshoe. Because as a flanker, if you get even 1 person without losing your life, you've pretty much done your job, especially on a match like this, where every point is going to count. And he is just deciding to stay in the horseshoe.
I would almost argue this would be a dead angle. After you've already picked up a couple, you gotta wonder, are they gonna risk sending more people down here? And in this case, they are not. Keller going for south stairs, and he's actually gonna get back up from Regret. And just under 3 minutes on the clock. They have plenty of time to make these rotations here. They're going to have to rely on them. This is a really risky approach to make. There's a lot of angles you have to cover when you're coming from the far south like this. And I don't think they're going to be ready for Ree if he opts to rotate onto the horseshoe area. I mean, if you were in their position, where would you come from?
It's a tough call because the north is pretty much locked down right now. They have 1 up there. When you come from the south, you have options. The problem is that they lost people in the horseshoe, so they have to know there's at least the potential that somebody's watching down those stairs. They've taken a lot of time, too. It's not impossible to get across the platform now, but it's going to be tough. They're going to have to start rushing before too long. So they're watching these angles, trying to see if anybody's peeking north to south. So far, it's not happening. Now, the way this could backfire for Rome is if they get some defenders picked off and Ree is left by himself, or at least mostly by himself on objective. Or, excuse me, in the horseshoe.
Slowly making his way towards Good Job Brian over here. Good Job Brian is not going to be ready for a flanker. Ironically, Prestige not opting to hold a flank now, or a flank watcher.
Good job, Brian, now sending smokes into the north stairs.
Yeah, he made a call out that he's going to make his presence known there, so the rest of his team can rotate around a little bit more unopposed. However, now that they know he's there, Ree is speeding up for the
On
flank.
camera 2, I'm seeing Varix really in the way right now.
Mike trying to drop Brian, but Ree actually gets the flank on. And it is down to a 2v4 now. Varix would have played a key role if they had tried to assault that stairwell. Oh, taking pop shots, not finding anybody. Gonna have to deal with Hatter, though, way tucked in. Regret with a great refrag.
Yeah,
Down to a
12
1v3.
seconds, though.
Yeah.
And the caster clock is 2 seconds slow, so he's got roughly 5 seconds now.
He's gonna go for the
on-
cap. He's taking out way too
Oh.
much, though, and gets taken down. I don't think he
That's
could
big.
cap from the metal detector, but he knew he had so many defenders to deal with. He figured maybe his fingers on the buttons were faster than his trigger finger. And I left the overlay open, apparently.
Ooh, brutal.
It did not go down. I have been so careful this whole time. How did it not go down? Unfortunate. We're gonna go ahead and up on the away team. I'm telling you, man, the high level boardcasters hard coded this to mess us up.
It's truly a test of will and inner strength, and you failed that test, young SkyJoker.
Does this mean I lose my spot on Mayhem?
No, it means you need to bring extra drums, that's all.
Okay, that I can compromise with that. Go ahead.
All right,
and
so
make
so
sure we
one
get
thing
rid
I'll-
of the scoreboard overlay now.
just as a spectator, I'm glad it's not over because I want to see another round of North Stairs.
Yes, the North Stairs. Let's see how different Rome, with their a bit more experience doing this, let's see how they assault this objective. We know they are careful, but they like to swing towards
Yeah, I don't know
aggression
where
quite a
the
bit when they do get aggressive. So let's see
Backside of the
if
dump-
they
backside of
channel
silver
that
dumpster.
aggression into this
Closest to us.
objective or not.
They're gonna be up.
That's true, that's true. I can go out and try to trade.
Come with me.
Oh, Prestige already talking about trying to trade here. Oh man, the grenade almost getting over the wall and catching Keller in the face.
Yeah, just got stuck on that little lip. That would have been potentially an insta-kill. Probably would have landed right on his head if it had made it over. Yeah,
Would've hit him
William.
right in the nose.
William just called out that he knew the grenade didn't make it across, and now he's calling for another grenade. So it sounds like they're going to come after that spot again.
And I see the disappointment in the chat as they reach the overlay. Unfortunate. And the attack has just stalled here over in the market area. With Ree being the aggressor, or not Ree, William. He just kind of pushing his way back and forth here, trying to bait them in with his footsteps.
Oh, on camera too, there's a C4.
Yep, he
we're-
threw that
we're right-
early on.
Okay.
Right on the
Wasn't sure
dumpster.
if you spotted that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good spot because you cannot do anything about that ahead of time unless you just get lucky and hit a grenade right on it. But if you come around that corner and they see it, you're in trouble. Although it doesn't look like... Now, good job, Brian does not have the clacker.
No, it's Keller down there.
Yep.
I was about to say, I don't like good job Brian being up there constantly, but as I was going to say that, he did rotate down further a little bit. That guarantees that if anybody kills Brian, they're going to be within range of that C4. Actually, no, the C4 is a little bit further back. Oh, the smoke comes out, but the C4 gets turned off as Lunch Lady picks up Mad Hatter over in the horseshoe area. Unfortunate that the C4 was disabled. Maybe if Good Job Brian had been up further, the shots from him would have told Keller that there was somebody there. But without anybody being up there, there were no cues for him to blow that up. Rome just very grouped up here as they pick up Good Job Brian. If they had any grenades and a M203 comes out.
That was a nade.
Shit.
M203 frag, which he thought was a smoke, comes out. Doesn't find anybody though.
Well, if that was an M203 HE, that means this round is forfeited, or they're at least going to play it over again. It's an auto win for Prestige since HE rounds are not allowed on this map.
That is correct. We actually just had an instance earlier, I believe this week, Regret picking up Ree through the smoke, where boss fight versus Dead Logic. Boss fight accidentally brought an HE instead of a smoke.
Yep.
More free fire coming out. William still just down. As I say that, smoke goes away,
Missed
so
one,
he gets
maybe
the
two on
confirm.
blisters.
Down to a 4v2, even without that round call. It's not looking good for Rome.
Yeah, so, I mean, worst case scenario, it's a free round for Prestige. But they might end up just clinching this. 1 minute and 40 seconds, 2v4. And let's see, where's Varix here? Yeah, they're in totally different areas of the map. This is going to be hard to accomplish with this much time. And Varix is going to get caught by Lunch Lady. Oh, he misses the shots. Varix, the nice peek on Lunch Lady.
Down to a 2-3. Equalizing this up just a little bit here. Varix proving to be very dangerous.
Do you know how many we got? We only have
Take
like
a look at
a minute.
Dangle's position. It's not often you see somebody here specifically. Usually you see them in the hallway or on the other side in the railway. We'll see if they're ready for that. He's just prone with a very tight look onto the ramps.
Yeah, 45 seconds left. And they've got 3 defenders. All Prestige really has to do right now is stay tucked and watch right on the objective, and they'll be okay. Dr. Dangle waiting for whoever comes around in a prone position, which you don't see that often.
In the trade.
Yeah, you often see people crouching or standing over there. Not many players play that prone, so I think that might have caught him off guard. Yeah, looks like this is going to be a Prestige win after that.
Yep, coming up on 10 seconds here. Varix wasting way too much time looking for a defender here. And is not going to be able to rotate back in time. And the trade comes out. But Rome ran out of time, bringing this to a 4-2 and concluding our match-deciding round and map.
Wow, and Prestige just playing really impressively. Also just showing a lot of heart there because they lost the first map pretty decisively. I mean, 4-0, it never feels good to get 4-0'd on a map. And then they came back on a very close Suburbia and won that, and then with a pretty dominant performance on Subway. Rome put up a good fight, but they were just no match for Prestige in that sense. So,
yeah,
there it is.
Kudos to Prestige. I mean, like you said, they lost the Czar so decisively. Rome, clearly the better team coming out there, but then they didn't lose the heart. They didn't lose the morale, and they came back onto Suburbia, Rome's pick, and showed Rome what they can do, and then came onto their own map pick on Subway, and again showed Rome what they can do and why they have been matched up against Rome, why they've climbed the ranks like this.
Yep. So, fantastic match by both teams, and it was a pleasure to cast.
Oh yeah, the swinginess and the high intensity was just such a great thing. Something you want to see out of every cast here. But unfortunately, this one is concluding. Hopefully we can pick up some more tomorrow and get right back on with the action. But that has been all for VRML 3 tonight. I have been the SkyJoker, joined by Theta, and I hope everybody has a wonderful night. Or day, depending where you are at. Catch y'all next time.